I am Ethan Walker, and I have always believed that hard work could build a stable life. You're overworking again, Lily says one night, her voice flat. I smile and reach for her hand. I'm doing this for us, I tell her. She pulls away. I'm just tired, Ethan. That sentence has become her shield. Every time I ask, did I do something wrong? She gives me the same answer. I laugh it off, but inside, something twists. We live in the same apartment, yet it feels like I share space with a stranger. Dinner is ready, I say, trying again. I'll eat later, she replies, not even looking at me. I sit alone, staring at the empty chair across from me. This isn't normal, I whisper to myself. My younger brother, Ryan, starts visiting more often. Missed me, he jokes as he walks in without knocking. Lily smiles at him, a real smile, one I haven't seen in weeks. You're early, she tells him. For you, always, he replies. I force a laugh. Good to see you, man. He pats my shoulder. You look tired, Ethan. Work, I say. Lily adds, he works too much. Ryan chuckles. You should relax more. I nod, but something about the way they look at each other makes my chest tighten. Later, I text Marcus. Something feels off. He calls me immediately. What's going on? He asks. Lily is distant. Ryan is always around. He pauses. Trust your gut, Ethan. I don't want to be paranoid, I say. You're not, he replies. You're noticing patterns. The next day, I run into Sophie outside Lily's office. Hey, she says, studying me. You look stressed. Do I? I ask. She hesitates. Lily has been acting different at work. My heart skips. Different how? I press. Distracted. Secretive. Always texting, she says. I thought you knew. I shake my head. No, I didn't. That night, I try again. Can we talk? I ask Lily. She sighs. About what? About us, I say. We're fine, she replies. We're not, I insist. You won't even look at me. She crosses her arms. I said I'm tired. That's not an answer, I say. Silence fills the room. You're overthinking, she finally says. Maybe, I whisper. But my mind won't stop. I lie awake, staring at the ceiling. I hear her phone buzz. Who's that? I ask. Work, she answers quickly. I turn away, pretending to believe her. Days pass, and the distance grows. You okay? Marcus asks when we meet. No, I admit. I feel like I'm losing her. He looks at me seriously. Or maybe you've already lost her. That thought hits harder than anything. When I get home, Lily is laughing at something on her phone. What's so funny? I ask. She locks the screen. Nothing. I nod, but my chest feels heavy. We should go out this weekend, I suggest. I'm busy, she says. With what? I ask. Just things, she replies. I swallow my frustration. Okay. Ryan shows up again the next evening. Missed you, he says to Lily. You just saw me yesterday, she laughs. I stand there, invisible. I'll grab drinks, I say. You guys want anything? We're good, Ryan answers. As I walk to the kitchen, I hear them whispering. I can't make out the words, but I feel the distance like a wall between us. I stare at my reflection in the glass. You're imagining things, I tell myself. But the doubt won't leave. Something is wrong. I can feel it in every silence, every glance, every word left unsaid. I walk back into the room, forcing a smile. Everything okay? I ask. Yeah, Lily says. Everything's fine. I nod, but deep down, I know the truth. I am not overthinking. I am losing her, piece by piece. And somehow, I feel like I am about to lose much more. I sit down beside them, trying to ignore the tension. We should watch something, I say. Sure, Ryan replies. Lily shrugs. Anything. I grab the remote, but my hands shake. You okay? Ryan asks. Yeah, I lie. Inside, I feel something breaking quietly, like glass no one else can hear. I got home earlier than usual, holding takeout in my hands. Lily. I called out. No answer. The house felt too quiet. I frowned. That's weird, I muttered. Then I heard it, soft voices upstairs. My chest tightened. She's on a call, I told myself, but my feet were already moving. As I climbed the stairs, the voices grew clearer. Lily's voice, nervous. I shouldn't. Ethan will find out. My heart skipped. Ryan's voice followed, calm, almost amused. He won't. He never notices anything. I froze outside the bedroom door. What? I whispered. My hand trembled as I pushed it open. And then I saw it. Ryan's hand on her face. Lily leaning into him. Their lips pressed together like it was natural. Like it had been happening for a long time. Something inside me snapped. What the hell is this? I shouted. They jumped apart. Lily stumbled back, her face pale. Ethan, she gasped. Ryan didn't even flinch. He just looked at me like I had interrupted something unimportant. It's not what you think, Lily said quickly. I laughed, but it came out broken. Not what I think. I just saw you kiss my brother. Ryan crossed his arms. Calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. I yelled. My hands were shaking. Explain this. Lily stepped forward. I didn't mean for you to find out like this. Find out. I repeated. So there's something to find out. She looked away. That silence felt louder than any answer. Ryan sighed. Look, Ethan, maybe it's time you faced reality. I stayed at him. What reality? He shrugged. Maybe she just doesn't love you anymore. That sentence hit harder than anything else. I felt like the air had been knocked out of me. Lily. I whispered. Is that true? She hesitated. That was enough. I asked you something, I said, my voice breaking. I don't know, she said softly. You don't know? I laughed again, but it hurt. We were getting married. Ryan stepped closer to her. Things change. Stay out of this. I snapped. No, he said calmly. You need to hear it. I don't need to hear anything from you, I said. You're my brother. He smirked. And you betrayed me. I shouted. Lily started crying. Please stop yelling. Stop yelling. I repeated. You're cheating on me with my own brother, and you want me to stop yelling. It wasn't supposed to happen, she said. When did it start? I asked. She didn't answer. When did it start? I repeated louder. A few months ago, Ryan said casually. I felt my knees weaken. Months. You were always busy, Lily said quickly. You were never around. So this is my fault. I asked. No, I didn't mean. You chose this. I interrupted. You chose him. Ryan chuckled. She chose someone who actually pays attention. I clenched my fists. You think this is funny? I think you're finally seeing things clearly, he replied. I looked at Lily. Do you love him? She wiped her tears. I don't know. That's not an answer, I said. I care about him, she whispered. That was it. That was all I needed. I stepped back, feeling like the ground was slipping beneath me. You both disgust me. Ethan, Lily reached for me. I pulled away. Don't touch me. The room felt suffocating. I turned and walked out. Where are you going? She called after me. Anywhere but here, I said. My phone buzzed as I reached the door. It was my mom. I answered without thinking. Ethan, are you okay? She asked. I laughed bitterly. Ask your other son. What do you mean? My dad's voice came through next. You'll find out soon enough, I said and hung up. Behind me, I heard Lily calling my name. Ryan said something, but I didn't listen. I opened the door and stepped outside. The night air hit me, cold and sharp. I stood there for a moment, trying to breathe. This isn't real, I whispered. But it was. I got into my car, my hands gripping the wheel. How did it come to this? I asked myself. No answer came. I drove without knowing where I was going. My chest hurt. My mind replayed everything. The kiss, Ryan's words, Lily's silence. She doesn't love you anymore. Those words echoed again and again. I pulled over and shut my eyes. I lost everything, I said quietly. And for the first time in my life, I didn't know how to fix it. I sat on Marcus's couch, staring at the ceiling. I can't sleep, I said quietly. Marcus leaned against the doorway. You've been saying that for 3 nights. I close my eyes, and I see them, I admitted. Every time. He walked in and handed me a bottle of water. Drink. I don't want water, I muttered. You don't know what you want right now, he replied. That's the problem. I sighed. Everything feels fake. Every memory with her. It's like it never meant anything. Marcus sat across from me. Listen to me, Ethan. I looked at him. You can either let this destroy you or rebuild yourself. I let those words sink in. Rebuild? I asked. Yeah, he said. Become someone stronger than the guy they betrayed. I don't even know who I am right now, I admitted. Then figure it out, he said firmly. The next day, I sat in a quiet office across from Dr. Emily Hayes. Tell me what happened, she said gently. They cheated, I said flatly. My fiancé and my brother. She nodded slowly. And how did that make you feel? Like I wasn't enough, I answered. She leaned forward slightly. You are not weak, Ethan. I looked at her. You were loyal, she continued. I swallowed hard. It doesn't feel that way. It will, she said, but only if you stop blaming yourself. My own brother, I whispered. Yes, she said softly, and that says more about him than it does about you. My phone buzzed. I glanced at it. Lily, I can't deal with this right now, I said. Then don't, Dr. Hayes replied. You're allowed to protect yourself. Later, I sat outside, staring at my phone as it rang again. I answered this time. Ethan, please, Lily's voice came through, shaky. I made a mistake. A mistake. I repeated. You don't accidentally betray someone for months. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said. But you let it happen, I replied. Please talk to me, she begged. I am talking, I said coldly. And I'm done. I hung up before she could say anything else. That evening, I met Sophie at a cafe. You look different, she said carefully. I am different, I replied. She hesitated. I didn't want to say anything before. Say what? I asked. I saw them together, she admitted. A few times. My chest tightened. How long? Months, she said quietly. I let out a slow breath. So everyone knew except me. I'm sorry, she said. I nodded. At least now I know the truth. The next morning, I threw myself into work. Ethan, my office, Jason Miller called. I walked in. You wanted to see me. He stuttered me. You've been putting in a lot of hours. I need the distraction, I admitted. He nodded. I'm not going to ask personal questions. Good, I said. But I will say this, he continued. You're doing excellent work. I blinked. Thank you. I'm considering you for a promotion, he said. I was silent for a moment. Really? Yes, he replied. But I need to know you're ready. I straightened slightly. I am. Good, he said. Then prove it. I will, I answered. Days turned into weeks. Come to the gym with me, Marcus said one evening. I don't feel like it, I replied. That's exactly why you should go, he said. I sighed. Fine. As I lifted weights, Marcus smirked. Look at you. Shut up, I muttered. No, seriously, he said. You're changing. I paused. Maybe. Not maybe, he said. Definitely. I looked at myself in the mirror. For the first time, I didn't see someone broken. Later that night, I sat alone, thinking. I lost them, I whispered. The words didn't hurt as much this time. I took a deep breath. But maybe, I found myself. Time passed, and I barely noticed when the pain stopped controlling me. Nice place, Marcus said, stepping into my new apartment. Yeah, I replied. Feels different. Better, he corrected. I nodded. Better. Work became my focus. You've changed, Jason told me one afternoon. In a good way. I asked. In a strong way, he said. Keep going. I will, I answered. That same week, I met Olivia Brooks during a meeting. Ethan, right, she said with a small smile. Yeah, I replied. And you are? Olivia, she said. I've heard about your work. Hope it's good things, I said. All good, she laughed. You're focused. I had to be, I admitted. She tilted her head. Had to. Long story, I said. Well, she replied, I'm a good listener. I smiled slightly. Maybe someday. Meanwhile, everything I once lost started falling apart for them. Marcus showed me a message one evening. You heard about Ryan. What about him? I asked. He got fired, Marcus said. I raised an eyebrow. For what? Late, careless, arguing with his boss, he replied. I exhaled slowly. Sounds like him. And Lily? Marcus added. I looked at him. What about her? Rumors at work, he said. People know about them now. I shook my head. They wanted this. Doesn't look like they can handle it, Marcus said. A few days later, there was a knock on my door. I opened it and froze. Lily. She looked different. Tired. Broken. I miss you, she said softly. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I stayed calm. You didn't make a mistake. She looked up at me. What? You made a choice, I said. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't know what I was doing. You knew exactly what you were doing, I replied. I thought I was happy, she whispered. And now? I asked. She broke down. Now I've lost everything. I crossed my arms. You lost me the moment you chose him. Please, she said. Can we start over? I shook my head. There is no starting over. I still love you, she said. I looked at her steadily. No, you don't. You just regret your choice. She stepped closer. Ethan, please. I stepped back. You need to leave. Her voice cracked. You're really done. I've been done, I said quietly. She stood there for a moment, then turned and walked away. Later that night, Ryan showed up. Open the door, he called. I opened it halfway. What do you want? He looked angry, but tired. You think you're better than me now? I leaned against the doorframe. No, he scoffed. Then what is this? I just stopped being less than you, I said. His jaw tightened. You think you won. This isn't a game, I replied. You took everything, he said. I laughed lightly. No, you threw everything away. He clenched his fists. She's miserable. That's not my problem, I said. You don't care? He asked. I cared when she was mine, I answered. Not anymore. He looked at me, searching for something. I didn't think it would end like this. Neither did I said. Silence filled the space between us. You really changed, he muttered. Yeah, I said. I had to. He shook his head. I lost my job. She's falling apart. I didn't respond. I thought I was winning, he admitted. You weren't, I said. He looked down, and for the first time, I saw regret in his eyes. I messed up, he said quietly. I nodded. You did. He didn't argue. He just turned and walked away. The door closed behind him, and I felt nothing. No anger, no pain, just silence. My phone buzzed. It was Olivia. Hey, she texted. Coffee tomorrow. I smiled slightly and typed back. Yeah, I'd like that. For the first time in a long time, I felt steady. I wasn't the broken man anymore. They were. I stood by the window, staring at the city lights. It's strange, I murmured, how everything can fall apart and still lead somewhere better. My phone buzzed. Marcus, you alive? He texted. I smirked and called him. Barely. He laughed. You sound better. I'm better, I said. Told you, he replied. You didn't break. You rebuilt. Yeah, I said quietly. I did. I heard things about Lily and Ryan without even asking. They're fighting all the time, Marcus told me one day. Not surprised, I replied. She blames him. He blames her, he added. I leaned back in my chair. That's how it goes. They thought they were choosing happiness, Marcus said. They chose consequences, I corrected. A few days later, Sophie called me. I ran into Lily, she said. And? I asked. She looked lost, Sophie replied. She asked about you. I stayed silent. She regrets everything, Sophie added. I exhaled slowly. That's not my responsibility. I know, she said. Just thought you should know. That night, my phone lit up again. Lily. I stayed at the message for a long time before opening it. I wish I could go back. I read it twice. Then I locked my phone. No, I whispered. There's no going back. The next morning, I met Olivia at a small cafe. You're quiet today, she said, watching me. Just thinking, I replied. About the past, she asked gently. Yeah, I admitted. She nodded. Does it still hate? Sometimes, I said, but not the same way. How so? She asked. It used to feel like I lost everything, I explained. Now it feels like I let go of something that wasn't real. She smiled softly. That's growth. I'm trying, I said. You're doing more than trying, she replied. I looked at her. I don't want to rush anything. I'm not asking you to, she said. I've learned something, I continued. Trust isn't given easily anymore. It shouldn't be, she said. It has to be earned, I added. She nodded. Then let me earn it. I smiled slightly. We'll see. Later that week, I visited my parents. My mom hugged me tightly. I'm so sorry, she said. It's okay, I replied. No, it's not, she insisted. We should have seen it. My dad stood quietly before speaking. I didn't understand at first, he admitted. I looked at him. I know. But I do now, he said. And I'm proud of you. For what? I asked. For not letting this destroy you, he said. I swallowed. It almost did. But it didn't, he replied. I nodded slowly. You became stronger than I ever was, he added. Those words stayed with me. That evening, I walked alone through the city. You okay? Marcus asked when I called him. Yeah, I said. I think I finally am. What changed? He asked. I stopped looking for answers from them, I replied. And found them in yourself, he said. Something like that, I answered. I hung up and stood still, watching the lights flicker across the skyline. I thought losing them would end me, I said quietly. The words felt lighter now. But it didn't, I continued. It set me free. I took a deep breath, letting the past settle behind me. There was no anger left, no need for revenge, just silence and peace. And for the first time in a long time, that was enough.